we glean in terms of spring training is whether you're going to baseball or football or basketball or hockey camp, there's a lot of pressure, right? There's a lot of pressure because you're trying to make the team. And in that window of time, what you do under pressure really matters. And pressure is a part of life. We can't escape it. We all experience it. Jimmy just talked about it. Like, there's things that are outside of our control, but it applies pressure to us. Groceries are more expensive. Fuel's more expensive. We are experiencing things as a country right now, not just economically, but there's a whole lot going on. There's a lot of dynamics. And when you do watch the news, it feels kind of heavy, to be honest, right now. We're not celebrating all these wins, man. It's, hey, let's talk about everything that's broke. And what does that do? It puts pressure on you. You look at your job and you go, man, I only have 2 opportunities today and I got to make money. That's pressure. And what I want you to know is pressure's not always a bad thing. Sometimes pressure's used to mold us or shape us, right? In my life, I believe that some of the most difficult times that I experienced in my life sharpened me. It made me stronger. If you go and lift weights, what's the idea of weightlifting in the first place? It's resistance that makes you stronger. It's straining that makes your muscle fibers break down and regrow stronger. Now, none of us sign up for difficulty, pressure, stress, anxiety. We don't go, man, I just want to be stressed out all the time. We don't want to do that. But the reality is, if you assess your life and you go, hey, where are the pressure points in my life? Work's always going to be a pressure point. Providing for a family, whatever it is that you got going on. It could be a health concern. It could be, bad news that you got about a loved one or a family member. That's pressure. And so if I told you today, look, you can't go through life without experiencing it, what would be helpful? What would be helpful is, how do I deal with it? How do I deal with it? As a baseball player, I remember those moments starting out in Little League all the way through college where you get an opportunity and you're on deck and you're figuring out, hey, we got 1 out. I'm probably going to get a chance to hit here. It's 1 out. We got to run around second. We're down a run last inning. And you get in the box and you get an 0-2 count. And there's 2 outs. Man, the last thing that I ever wanted to do was end the game in the batter's box. Hated that. I wanted to, be a hero. I wanted to hit a ball in the gap or hit a 2-run walk-off home run. That would be awesome. But the pressure was so profound that I found that certain kids were really good when we were up 8-0. But there was a unique group of individuals who, as a coach and as a player and a teammate, I wanted those kids to be in the batter's box with 2 outs in the game on the line. Why? Because they knew how to handle pressure. That's all it is. Did the kid who hit 400 and did awesome when you had a big lead, or the at-bat didn't matter? Was he a good hitter physically? Yeah. Was he a good athlete? Absolutely. But what separated him? There were kids in our team that would maybe be 100 points lower in their batting average, but their batting average with 2 outs in the game on the line was better than anybody on the team. And those are the kids you wanted in those situations because they knew how to handle pressure. Some people actually thrive under pressure. Some of you in this room may say, you know what, I do my best work when there's pressure. And there's some commonalities about pressure that I think are worth looking at. Let me give you just a couple things I want you to think about. How do you handle it? Number one, break it down. The problem with pressure is what happens is you get this whole big deal that's escalated. You ever walk up to somebody and they've got a couple problems, but all of a sudden it's my whole life is going to hell in a handbasket? Their narrative is, oh my God, everything's falling apart. Really? You got to break that down, right? You got to stop and you got to break it down into bite-sized pieces, because it is overwhelming if you go, yes, my kid's got this. I talked to a friend yesterday. Jimmy and I were at a meeting. He's a guy I used to work with, and his daughter was diagnosed with severe scoliosis last week. She's going in a brace. She's got 25-degree curvature in her spine. He has a medical condition. You don't know. He's lost 38 pounds. He's got issues. He's night sweats. fatigue. He's been to 2 doctors. He's going to another doctor Thursday. They're trying to figure out what's wrong with him. Yesterday, he pulls in his driveway after work. He's got water rolling down his driveway. What was his narrative when he called me? What was it? Everything's going wrong, right? I got my daughter this, and I got my own health care, and now my water heater busts. And I'm like, I want to catch up with you, which I called him back last night and got a better report on everything. I said, I'd love to catch up with you, but right now, let's talk about your water heater. Right? So what do we have to do? Jimmy told him how to shut his water heater off. And that was the one thing that we got done, right? So he could still flush his toilets, and he could still function in his house and take a spit bath or whatever. But that alleviated a little bit of pressure. You got to break it down. Everything's not wrong in your life. When somebody comes up to you and everything's broke, that's usually not true. You have to identify what it is that's causing the pressure. Is it this relationship? Is it my finances? Is it health? Is it work? And then you can focus on what's broken. And it doesn't seem so overwhelming. In fact, in those moments when a kid's in the box at 0-2 and his knees are shaking, if he backs out of the box and he looks around and he shifts his narrative to, man, I got an opportunity to be a hero right here. And he wants in the box. And he wants to conquer that moment. Everything changes. But you've got to break it down. What happens to a kid under extreme pressure, anxiety? They can't perform. You know why? When they get in the box, their mindset is, oh my God, if I fail, I don't want to ride in the car home with my dad. My coach is going to be disappointed. My teammates are going to hate me. Oh my God, I'm just a failure. Versus, dude, I'm fixing to crush one of the gap right here. And everybody's going to charge the field, and I'm going to be the hero today. You see, what we do when we're under pressure is we make everything around us bigger than it really is. Your little problems become monumental problems because that's what you deem them to be. Everything's not bad in your life. Yeah, is the economy repressed? Absolutely, 100%. Do we all still have a job? Yeah, I interviewed a girl yesterday, single mom. Jason and I did a second interview with her. She had a management position at Amazon. Very bright. Well, she was a part of the massive layoffs that just happened at Amazon. She does not have a job. She'll work here next week. But the reality is, sometimes we make our problems so much more than they need to be. Break it down. What's really going on? It helps to break things down. Number 2, beat the temptations in your life. When things go bad and you're under pressure, many people lose control because they reach for the wrong stuff. I'm stressed out. I need to eat. I'm stressed out. I need to drink. I'm stressed out. I need to look at this. Whatever you reach for, when you're feeling pressure, make sure you don't reach for the wrong things. Because pressure will cause you to do that. Why is it? Because you're trying to alleviate the pain. You're trying to get rid of it. You don't want to feel that way. You don't like stress and anxiety. Reach for the wrong things. You're going to make your stress and anxiety much worse. And that's the truth. Take a walk. What do you do to cope? Go work out. Read a book. Call somebody. There's other ways to deal with pressure because pressure is a real part of life. A lot of people crumble under pressure. Third thing is build some fences. Here's one of the things that I see in people. They go, man, I'm so stressed out. And I go, tell me what you're stressed out about. And they start listing all the things. And here's what I end up hearing. A lot of people, their intention is to do good and make a difference. But they say yes to everything. Hey man, can you be on the Little League Board of Directors? Yeah, sign me up. Okay, that's Tuesday nights at 6. Hey, can you coach a team? Well, we got a team of 7-year-old boys and they don't have a coach. Yeah, sign me up. You got somebody at the church. Hey, can you be on this committee? Yep, I'll do that. You got somebody at the school board. Hey, you want to sign up for this? Yeah, absolutely. And then you look at your schedule and you got a commitment 5 out of 7 nights. And you wonder why you're stressed out. What are you good at? Are you a good coach? Pick that. Tell everybody else no. I'm going to focus my energy. I'm going to focus on this group of 12 7-year-olds for the next 6 months. And I'm going to 2 nights a week, I'm going to have practice. And the weekends, I'm going to coach them because that's what I'm good at. You see, we have a lot of self-induced pressure because we say yes to everything. Build some fences. And what I mean by that is, what space are you good at? Stay there. Don't apologize. Don't feel responsible for the whole world. Feel responsible for a couple things that you can impact, because you'll feel less stress and pressure. You'll have more time. Last thing is boost your battery. Boost your own battery. What do I mean? What is it that you do? Jimmy and I have had this conversation a lot. Like, when you have pressure, you feel like, man, I got to get this done. And there's pressure, guys. There's pressure right now. We all feel it. But how do you respond in a positive way when you don't have anything that you deem positive going on in your life? You've got to find an activity that you can do that helps you cope. Right? Boost your own battery. I read a book years ago and it said, when I relax, I feel guilty. And that's kind of how my dad raised me. There was no, you don't sit around. He woke me up at 8 o'clock every Saturday. He used to drive me crazy. 8 o'clock, go wash the cars, go mow the grass, whatever. My dad made it feel bad if I ever sat down and got a bag of chips and watched the football game. Right? I had to overcome that, because our bodies weren't made just to run. They were made to run hard and stop and recharge. So I don't know what that is for you. I don't know if it's playing video games or going to the gym or watching a sporting event or going out on the lake. I don't know. I know what recharges my batteries. It's being outdoors. And if I never make time for that stuff, I'm going to burn out. And you will too. Boost your battery. Figure out what recharges you. It's really, really important that you identify those times where you can go, you know what, I'm stressed out. I got to let some pressure off. Jason and I had a significant conversation Monday about this. And listen, I'm going to leave y'all with this. Your character is not revealed when things are going good. Everybody can raise their arms and triumph when you're winning. Your character is measured under pressure. You're exposed when things aren't going good in your life. And one of my favorite quotes is, squeeze a man and what's in a man will come out of a man. The only way we know who we really are is when we get squeezed. Who are you right now under pressure? When you go, you know what, I got to be more diligent. You hear Jimmy say, I got to work harder for the same amount of money. That's pressure. How do you show up when we got to grind? Are you the guy that says, hey, you're in the ditch, I'll get in the ditch and help you out? Some of you have to make sacrifices, right? All of us have to make sacrifices right now to achieve what we need to. And that's called pressure. You're either going to fold or you're going to shine. Be the group that says, you know what? I can handle this. I'm going to shine. Have a good day.